Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week we take a look at some upcoming races in Hong Kong, try to isolate an area of the race that we might look back on later as having been the key ingredient to finding the winner. Well, racing at Sha Tin on Sunday this week, and the first we're going to look at is race 7, and our winning factor here, the tempo. Well, only a smallish field for this race, but I think there'll be cases made for a number of runners. Alpha Hedge, Zach Purton's ride Everlaugh, a Gift of Lifeline from a better draw this time, Tungwa Glory rising in grade, and Cheerful Leader, who comes from the all-conquering Ricky Yu team. And just as a detour this week, I thought we might deconstruct to some extent what looks like a first Trainers' Championship title coming up for Ricky Yu. And I'm going to show you a little bit of a broken down premiership here. This is the premierships when you just use Class 4 races or just use Class 3 races. Now, these two classes, they represent about 70% of the races run in Hong Kong. Nobody wins the Trainers' Championship without doing very well in these areas. And as you can see, Ricky Yu clearly the leader in Class 4 races this season and ranked behind only Tony Cruz on the Class 3s. Now, the next table I'm going to show you is a combination of those two classes, and as you can see, Ricky Yu with all but 10 of his winners coming in Class 3 and Class 4 this season. And I think you should also note he's leading the strike rates on both classes and the overall, of course, between Class 3 and Class 4. And that is the underlying key to winning the training championship in Hong Kong, and that's what we've seen from Ricky Yu all season. And I think in race 7 on Sunday, Ricky Yu's Cheerful Leader has quite a bit in his favour as he seeks to become one more on that Class 3 tally. Now we're going to take a look at how Cheerful Leader has been going. This is his latest run, race 6:05, behind Lakeshore Eagle last month. And you can see here in the blue, white and yellow colours, and Joe Moreira has to wait briefly at the top of the straight. He's in behind the leaders, and when he gets clear running, he gets out chasing the lead, but by that time, the winner Lakeshore Eagle, he's already in full cry on the outside and going clear. Now, he did get edged out by Everlaugh there for second Cheerful Leader, but I think he can turn that around in this race, a race that really looks well suited for only one horse, and that's Cheerful Leader. If we take a look at the map, he's a natural on-pace runner in a race where there are no on-pace runners. Now, last time he jumped well, could have led that race as well, but Joe Moreira did seem to want to take a sit last time rather than set the pace, and that led to that little hold up at the top of the straight. I don't think he has much of an option here. There are no leaders in this, and the front running looks a gift for Cheerful Leader. Everlaugh, not a horse we normally see close up in his races, but there's so little speed, I suspect Zach Purton is going to go up and camp on Cheerful Leader rather than give him a start. But the pace looks really pedestrian, and that's going to hurt some of the other chances. So the tip in race 7, Cheerful Leader. His winning factor, the tempo. Really a race without pace, and that should mean that Moreira gets to run this race on Cheerful Leader however he wants to run it. The second race I want to take a look at for Sunday is race 8, and our winning factor here, the draw. Now, our major players in this race look to be Super Oasis, an interesting runner having his first start for Ricky Yu. Enrichment from the John Size Yard looking to break a string of seconds. Butterfield after some good recent form. And I do expect a little bit of improvement from the Douglas White trained Thinking Big this time as well. Now, Butterfield's last run was a forgive after he was caught wide, but the two that we're going to look at vision of here are Super Oasis and particularly Enrichment. And Enrichment, his last two starts at Happy Valley, they've been great contests between Joe Moreira and Zach Purton, and we're going to take a look at those. First of all, to race 582, and Enrichment was back and wide, taking off early here, and Purton on Dances with Dragon matches that move, and these two stage a great two-horse war for the last 600 metres, with Dances with Dragon and Zach Purton coming off best. Now, subsequently, They met again in race 640, and again they were both back, taking off around the field, this time with Purton conjuring a run as he headed back in between horses in the straight, and that led to him getting the better of things over Enrichment. And each time you'll note that this pair drew well clear of the rest, and both of these races look like good form. And in fact, they look the best of the form available in this race, but there is an X factor here with Super Oasis moving to Ricky U and with blinkers going on for the first time. So rather than show you his previous starts in Hong Kong, I thought I'd show you his latest trial. He's had 2 since joining the U stable, and this is on May the 5th. He's wearing blinkers in this trial, and it's a 1600 metre trial. He's in the blue and white colours, and he goes clear very comfortably here under no real pressure, although it must be said that the others in the trial weren't under a lot of pressure either. It was an uncompetitive sort of trial, but he shows that he's going well enough since joining Ricky U. But I think the key for Enrichment is that both of those runs at Happy Valley, making those long energy sapping runs around the outside of the field, were forced on him by wide barriers, outside gates 11 and 12 in those 2 starts, and this time he draws inside. And we take a look at the map, and I expect Thinkin' Big, a leader in Australia, and now with the 10-pound claimer Jerry Chow aboard, I expect him to take up the running on Sunday. And Enrichment, Antoine Hamelin's best option is if he can get across and trail Thinkin' Big in the box seat. And if that's the case, I think Thinkin' Big's going to take them a little bit further in this race than he has been so far in his Hong Kong career. And Enrichment comes off the back of him. Now, Super Oasis is probably going to be following Enrichment, and he's going to have to give him a little bit of a start. So the tip in race 8, Enrichment, his winning factor, the draw. He should get a much kinder trip this time from an inside gate, as opposed to those 2 tough runs at Happy Valley. He's going well enough to win, and I think this race lays out very well for him. Well, that's it from the winning factor for this week. Good luck on Sunday. We'll see you next time.